I want to talk to you about preserving your uniqueness, about ensuring that in every situation you come off as your authentic self. I want you to know that your unique self is valuable and you don't become valuable by copying another person. By being yourself, your true authentic self gives you the ability to bring to the table what nobody else can bring. Because if you check your thumbprint, your fingerprint is unique to you. That's an indication that what you have, your talent, your upbringing, the thing that you are being made purposely for is unique for you, unique to you. But it becomes a problem when you are trying to be like somebody else. You try to be like somebody else because you think that that version of them is a version that looks successful and a version that is what you believe is a better version than yourself. There are good examples. I'm not saying that do not copy good examples. Good examples are good to follow. But always center back to being who you authentically are, to be yourself, to work on yourself so that the version that is coming forth is not a copy of somebody else. Let me tell you something, just because it's never done or never been done does not mean that it's not good. You will need courage to start something that you have seen nobody else do. That is an indication that there's opportunity there for you. This generation, a lot of us are losing our identity. We're losing a good sense of ourselves because we're seeking to be like everybody else. There is something called celebrity status, and now it's called influencers. And so we try to copy what other people are doing to try to attain a certain level. This is my encouragement to you. Be yourself. Yourself is unique and uniquely created for the purpose of your life. Don't be so caught up with trying to be what you find on the media. Gabriella Union's life is Gabriella Union's life. Gabrielle Union, Gabriella. Beyonce's life is Beyonce's life. Any celebrity that you know, that's their life. Yours, your unique name. There's something unique for you. And go out.
Nobody likes regret. Regret is a very painful thing for anybody to go through. Why? Because when you are in a state of regret, especially over very, very sensitive things, you're unable to go back into the past and change the past. You see, when today goes, there's nothing anybody can do to bring back yesterday into today. Science, in all its glory, has not figured a way to put a pause on time or to bring back from yesterday what's already gone. If regret is such a painful thing for us, what then can you do to minimize the effect of regret and to ensure that tomorrow you're not in a position where you're wishing for yesterday? The best way to minimize the effects of regret is to live today with all that you have, is to love today with all that you have, is to give today with all that you have, is to live your life with no stone unturned, is to live intentionally with all that you have. When you find yourself living in such a way as though tomorrow is guaranteed, I can tell you that tomorrow you would have a lot of regret about what you could have done or what you should have done. And so the way that you minimize regret is to live today to the best of your ability. Love your siblings to the best of your ability. Love your parents to the best of your ability. Love your spouse to the best of your ability. Love your children to the best of your ability. When you're saying goodbye to your loved ones, understand it could be the last one. And so make it count. Don't take your relationships for granted. Don't take your opportunities for granted. When all is said and done, you should at least know that you give it your all, because that is the only way that you can minimize the effects of regret. There are people who are bound by the pain of regret, unable to live today, unable to hope for tomorrow because they wish they could have done things differently yesterday. But tears are not strong enough to bring yesterday back. So as far as you can, live today to the best of your ability. Love today to the best. You should consider primarily how compatible you are with this person. Compatibility is the bedrock of a marriage, of a relationship. If you heard anything other than that, you've been taught wrong and you're looking at it from the wrong side. Compatibility is what assures, reassures, secures that a marriage and a relationship will go a long way and a long while. But how do you determine compatibility? How are you able to tell that a person is compatible with you? It's not only in the vibe, because what does vibe really mean? What does vibe stand for? Compatibility is how when you look at the both of you, your lives, the decision patterns that you make, your ideologies, your theology, your outlook to life. When you look at your partner and the way in which they were raised and brought up, how similar or different is it from yours? Compatibility in life goals, compatibility financially, compatibility intellectually, the ability to have conversation. Because that is what guarantees friendship. Have you realized and taken note of the fact that the friends with whom you have the greatest time are the people with whom you see life in a similar lens and similar fashion? And that is why you always hear counselors encouraging that marry your friend. Marry the one with whom you are most compatible with. When a person approaches you wanting to be in a relationship with you, it is the questions that you ask on your dates that will help you determine compatibility. If you're a church girl, if you're a girl that loves to go to church and worship, and you think that because this man is 6 foot tall, drives a car, has a job, but does not want or does not stand your God, that you will find compatibility in that relationship, you're wrong. Primarily, search for a person or be with a person with whom you are the most compatible, where understanding between the both of you is natural. You are not trying to pull ends to meet. You are not trying and struggling to bring it together. It comes together beautifully. The way in which relationships function, and family and life and discussions and religion, it just comes together beautifully in symphony. But if from the onset you are sweeping under the rug the things that are major disagreements between the both of you, and expecting by some miracle that once you get married it will become a seamless symphony, you're making a mistake. Look for effortless, seamless compatibility, friendship, because that is the marriage that will last, that will be beautiful, that will go well. How do you know if a person loves you? That's the $1 million question that everybody contemplating a relationship wants to know. You know that a person loves you by their word and by their deed, what they say and what they do. Every time you don't find a balance between what is said and what is done, there is always a lack of assurance and knowledge of whether or not this person loves you. If a person loves you, what they do for you, what they do with you is going to show you that they love you. Do they respect you? Do they care about what you care about? Do they love your family? They support you in those things. In their deeds, they will show that they love you. When a person loves you, they are careful to respect what you have upheld as levels and standards. Hardly would you find a person that loves you disrespecting your boundary, disrespecting the things that you have communicated that you want and that you need. When a person loves you, they also show in what they say. They show in building you up, in speaking positively to you, in giving you feedback and criticism that is meant to build you. If a person loves you, they don't use their words to tear you down. They don't try to make you feel small. They don't try to make you feel like they are the good and better deal, not you. They make you understand through what they say that you are a gift unto them in what they say. Remember, if you are trying to figure out and know whether or not a person loves you, watch what they say and watch what they do. Not only what they say, because talk is cheap. It is possible for a person to say all the things and not back it up with action. And when a person backs it up with action and does not say, there is always a gap and a void. So how do you know if a person loves you? If you're trying to figure out whether this man or this woman loves you so you can spend your life with them, watch what they say and watch what they do.
I had, and I feel like every little girl growing up has this superficial preference of what they believe their husband should look like or sound like or be like. We want him a certain way, a certain height, a certain skin tone, making X amount of money, a certain build, because that's what we see in the movies and that's what we're trained to believe a good, handsome husband should look like. But you also have to know that you, as unique as you are, would also attract to yourself, or should attract to yourself, the person that is compatible most with you. That's when you start looking really at your compatibility, aside of those superficial preferences that you have. If he loves you, if you are yourself with him, if you feel at home with him, if your heart is at peace with him, if you are most yourself with him, would it matter that he is not 6 foot tall? Would it matter that he does not have a formal education? Sometimes our superficial preferences is just so that we can show our friends that, look, I got a good catch. A lot of people are still in that bubble. They are with partners that they are not compatible with, but they look picture perfect. Could it also be that you're uncomfortable because of what your friends will say? Marriage is not for the immature, and it is immature for you to marry or want to be with someone just because you want people to think that you got a good catch. At the end of the day, your friends are not married to that man, you know? When all is said and done, it's just you and him. It's just you and him. Off the fluff. Sister, peel off the fluff. Your preference is education and literacy and ability to construct good sentences. Why? Why does that matter to you? Get down to the root of it. And if all is said and done, let me be honest with you, please don't marry somebody that you're going to be irritated by. Don't do that. If you cannot accept him lovingly, extending grace to what you believe is his shortcoming, don't do it.
But if you feel like, oh yeah, maybe I'm just being influenced by the wrong thing, I was worried about what my girlfriends would say, it doesn't matter, I love him like that. He makes the mistakes, we joke about them, we laugh about them. I teach him here and there about, the things to say. He's got a good business, he's got a good head on his head. Then be in it for who he is and not all these external factors.